So now let's start taking a look at the Java source code that implements the Favorite Twitter Searches app. So I'm going to go ahead and double click our favorite Twitter searches.java file, and I'm going to expand our comment and import statements so we can start taking a look at the features of this example. Now, as you can see here, we have a package, com.detail.favorite Twitter searches. This package statement was created for us when we first set up the application and specified the package name for the application. At line 6, we've got an import of java.util.arrays. We'll be using the arrays class to sort the contents of our set of buttons for the purpose of displaying them on the screen. And we have a lot of different Android packages that we're importing here, many of which were introduced in prior apps. Now, in this example, we'll be, of course, extending activity to create the main activity for the example. We've got an alert dialog and a number of other imports here that we're going to be using to display an alert dialog to the user. For example, if the user hits the button to delete all the previously saved searches, before we allow that to happen, we're going to want to confirm that that's really what the user wants to do. Here at line 12, we have the intent class being imported, and intent is going to be what enables us to transfer the query that the user wants to perform from our app over to the browser on the device so that the browser can then perform that search using the twitter.com site, the search.twitter.com site, and get back the results that are displayed in the device's browser. We're going to be storing in a so-called shared preferences object the key value pairs that the user specifies for the search queries and their tags. And as you'll see, that information can be saved out to a file on the device and loaded back when the user restarts the app. And we'll be using a URI to specify where that file is getting stored. Of course, we have the bundle type, which we introduced previously, that's used as an argument to the onCreate method. For the first time, we'll be using from the Android.view package an inflator, a layout inflator, and that class is what's going to be used to load up the new tagView.xml and quote-unquote inflate it, which creates the objects that we can then use in our application and display in our table layout that's nested in the scroll view. Down here at line 19, we've imported the input method manager class, and as you'll see, we're going to use that to help dismiss the soft keyboard when the user touches the save button. So in the app, if the user is in the process of entering a tag, we showed you the keyboard with the done button on it. If they don't hit the done button, then the keyboard remains on the screen. So when the user hits the save button to save a tagged query, we're going to make sure that that keyboard still gets dismissed so the user can see as many of the tagged searches as possible on the GUI layout. And the other different classes that you see here are things that we've used in the prior examples. Now, as you can see here at line 26, our class extends activity, so this is creating the main activity for the class, and we have just a few instance variables in this example. We have a shared preferences object called save searches, and that's going to be used to save all of the query tag pairs. We have a table layout variable called query table layout that we'll use to attach each new tag view inflated table row to the on-screen presentation. And we have references to the query edit text and the tag edit text, which we use to obtain the strings that are typed by the user into those two edit texts, or when the user hits the edit button, we use those same variables to place a previously stored query into those edit texts for editing purposes. In the next video, we'll take a look at the onCreate method.